The past decade has seen a rise in franchises like Marvel, Star Wars, and Jurassic Park, but the quality of movies has remained great. LGBTQ+ cinema and horror films scored big at the box office. To celebrate this decade, Total Film has compiled a list of the best movies released between 2010 and 2019. In 2014, Anna Lilia Mirpour directed the Iranian vampire western film, A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Praised for its striking visuals and haunting soundtrack, the movie showcases a vampire in a chatter seducing and killing her male victims. Amirpour's unique blend of various cinematic styles has earned this film a spot as a memorable female-directed horror movie. Guillermo del Toro directs The Shape of Water, a multi-genre film about a mute cleaner's relationship with an amphibious humanoid creature. The film is a masterful display of empathy and feeling, creating magic through its characters and their unique qualities. Winner of 4 Oscars, it's a love story, thriller, melodrama, and creature feature all in one. In 2019, Olivia Wilde directed the film Booksmart, a witty and clever exploration of 2 nerdy high schoolers trying to become cool before graduation. The film reconfigures classic teen movie tropes and features standout performances from Beanie Feldstein and Kaitlyn Dever. Booksmart sets a new standard for modern high school movies. Ayrton Senna, the legendary Brazilian Formula One champion, comes back to life in this thrilling documentary. Director Asif Kapadia masterfully weaves together previously unseen footage with heartfelt commentary from those who knew him best. Whether you're a racing fan or not, this film is a must-see for anyone who loves a good story of passion and tragedy. Joe Cornish's 2011 film, Attack the Block, pits teenagers against scary black creatures on a South London housing estate. With future Star Wars star John Boyega and a pre-TARDIS Jodie Whittaker, this urban comedy horror is way ahead of the curve in British sci-fi. Hard-hitting drama 120 BPM, inspired by 90s activist group ACT UP Paris, condemns state apathy regarding the AIDS crisis. Nahuel Perez Bisquiart and Arnaud Valois deliver lived-in performances as protesters, while uncovering the joyful camaraderie of the LGBTQ+ community. Director Robin Campillo's personal experience elevates the emotional high points of the film. Scott Pilgrim vs. The World, a comic book movie masterpiece directed by Edgar Wright, blurs the lines between panel and screen, taking indie comedy to the next level with amphetamine arcade style and teenage roundhouse kicks. It may have bombed at the box office, but it's now considered charming. In 2012, director Pete Travis and writer Alex Garland gave comic book character Judge Dredd the film treatment he deserved in Dredd. Karl Urban shines as the titular character in this stylishly brutal and morally grey action flick, with Lena Headey providing a standout performance as the sadistic villain Mama. Fans are now eagerly awaiting a sequel. Darren Aronofsky's 2017 film, Mother, is a divisive fever dream exploring questions of faith. Jennifer Lawrence's character's house is invaded by outsiders worshipping her poet husband, played by Javier Bardem. The film contains religious symbolism and sexualized violence, prompting walkouts from some viewers. However, for those tuning into the possession-like madness, it was an exhilarating discourse on humanity's dark heart. The Wailing, directed by Na Hong-jin, is a South Korean horror film that tells the story of a bumbling cop trying to save his daughter from a ghost zombie infection. With a mix of slow-creeping dread, humor, and visual flair, it's a genuinely epic fable unlike anything else made this decade. Magnificent. In Sicario, Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro give their best performances in this gripping thriller directed by Denis Villeneuve. The cinematography and sound design are outstanding, but it's Villeneuve's nerve-wracking direction that makes it a must-see film. Saoirse Ronan delivers a powerful performance in Brooklyn, a touching drama about a young immigrant torn between her new life in America and her ties to small-town Ireland. Domhnall Gleeson and Emery Cohen impress as her love interests, while Julie Walters steals the show as her landlady. Director John Crowley's film is a must-see. In 2018, Christopher McQuarrie directed the sixth, and best, Mission Impossible movie yet, surpassing expectations and defying gravity. Bringing back past characters and adding a superb antagonist, Henry Cavill's Walker, Fallout delivered one standout set piece after another. The only question now is how they'll top it in the next 2 installments. The Last Jedi boldly questions and explores the Star Wars past, with Luke Skywalker re-emerging as a scratchy and anti-Jedi character. Despite some backlash, director Rian Johnson beautifully made this movie in a rigorously thoughtful fashion. George Lucas himself approves. Paddington 2, directed by Paul King, has captured the hearts of viewers with its charm and heartrending kindness. The film follows Paddington's quest to get Aunt Lucy a birthday present, which lands him in jail. The stellar cast includes Hugh Grant's delicious baddie and Brendan Gleeson's cuddly Crim. This movie is a must-see for all who love a feel-good film. Deborah Granick's powerful film, Leave No Trace, about a father and daughter living off the grid, may have been snubbed by the Academy, but it touched the hearts of many. The film portrays the difficulties of those living in urban environments and their search for escape. The performances by Ben Foster and Thomasin Harcourt Mackenzie were outstanding and their characters' struggles were accurately depicted. Leave No Trace is a must-see for those seeking thought-provoking drama. Lee Chang-dong's Burning, based on the work of Haruki Murakami, delivers a captivating and enigmatic study in obsession, male desire, and class envy. The neo-noir film smolders before catching fire in its final act, with outstanding performances from the cast, including Stephen Yeun's turn as a smirking sociopath. Director Paul Thomas Anderson's adaptation of Thomas Pynchon's unfilmable novel Inherent Vice left viewers both befuddled and amused. The wacky tale of P.I. Larry Doc Sportello, Joaquin Phoenix, investigating the disappearance of his ex-girlfriend Shasta Faye Hepworth, Catherine Waterston, is intentionally confusing. Repeat viewings, however, unveil a work of great mirth and melancholy. In Once Upon a Time in Anatolia, men search for a buried body in the Anatolian steppes in a one-night adventure that highlights the truth, beauty, ugliness, and pain of their journey. Turkish director Nuri Bilge Ceylan's atmospheric police procedural is inspired by Leon and Chekhov and provides a profound look at humanity. In the film, The Turin Horse, an old man and his daughter go about their daily tasks while their horse refuses to eat, all as the wind howls outside their desolate home. This mesmerizing black and white film is a parable set in the 19th century, consisting of just 30 shots in 155 minutes. The New York Times called it an experience of exaltation. Directed by Bela Tarr in 2011. John Krasinski directs and stars in the sci-fi horror A Quiet Place with wife Emily Blunt. The family must stay silent to survive sound-seeking aliens, resulting in a powerfully affecting film with great monsters. Krasinski proves he's more than just Jim from The Office. Jesse and Celine reunite in Greece as parents to twin girls, 9 years after their last meeting in Paris. Before Midnight sees their life together with a different reality from their younger days. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy's chemistry brings life to the film, earning an Oscar nomination for the trio as co-writers. Leonardo DiCaprio stars in Martin Scorsese's The Wolf of Wall Street, based on the outrageous memoir of Wall Street player Jordan Belfort. Money, drugs, and girls abound in this exhilarating study of capitalism. Margot Robbie shines as Belfort's better half, while Jonah Hill brings the laughs. Scorsese has not had this much fun in years, making for a deliriously entertaining film. Director Gareth Edwards wows with his debut film, Monsters, a human story set years after an alien invasion. The tentacular creatures Edwards created on his laptop inspire awe. The film, made for just $500,000, showcases Edwards' love for movies by Spielberg and Lucas. Ida is a Polish film about a young nun who embarks on a road trip to uncover secrets from her past. The black and white cinematography and production design transport audiences to 1962, while exploring themes of Catholicism and anti-Semitism. Stars Agata Trzebachowska and Agata Kalesha deliver powerful performances in this artful and thought-provoking film. In the 2013 film, The Great Beauty, directed by Paolo Sorrentino, a 65-year-old man navigates high society while dealing with existential crisis and grief. Tony Servillo delivers a perfect portrayal of the character, and the cinematic imagery is both beautiful and melancholic. Sorrentino pays homage to Fellini, but creates a masterpiece of his own. In Beasts of the Southern Wild, a young girl named Hushpuppi embarks on a journey to find her mother while dealing with her father's declining health after Hurricane Katrina. The film, directed by Ben Zeitlin, mixes social realism and dystopian fantasy to tell a story of family, resilience, and survival. Hoovence Hayne-Wallace gives an Oscar-nominated performance as Hushpuppi, and the use of non-actor Louisiana natives adds authenticity to the tender yet divisive Americana tale. In Thor: Ragnarok, the god of thunder embraces a new tone that lands between mythology and sci-fi humor. This third solo outing capitalizes on Thor's comedic strengths and features a neon-washed space arena, complete with a Jeff Goldblum hologram. Taika Waititi's direction ensures that Thor finally finds his footing. Pixar's Coco, directed by Lee Unkrich and Adrian Molina, impresses with its stunning visuals and heartwarming story exploring Mexico's Day of the Dead. A young boy's love for a musician is at the heart of the film, which manages to combine humor, heroism, and emotion into every frame. The film won the Best Song Oscar, beating out The Greatest Showman. In 2013, Steve McQueen directed 12 Years a Slave, based on true events of a free black man, Solomon Northup, who was kidnapped and sold into slavery. The film's brutal portrayal of plantation life and Chiwetel Ejiofor's performance offered an insider's view of a dark chapter in American history, earning McQueen an Oscar. In 2010, director Apichatpong Weerasethakul released Uncle Boon Me Who Can Recall His Past Lives, a trippy film exploring animism and reincarnation. The film follows a man near death as he revisits his past lives with the help of loved ones and monkey ghosts. Despite its odd premise, the film is mesmerizing, moving, and slyly amusing, making for a sublime slow-burn cinema experience. In 2014, James Gunn directed Guardians of the Galaxy, a colorful space adventure for Marvel featuring a talking raccoon and sentient tree. Chris Pratt stars as intergalactic hero Peter Quill. The movie's soundtrack, including hits from Bowie and Marvin Gaye, is effortlessly cool. In The Favourite, three women battle for power and affection in 18th century England. Starring Olivia Colman, Rachel Weisz, and Emma Stone, the film is a deadpan comedy with heartbreak and ruthless machinations. It's a refreshing take on a period movie that feels modern and earned Colman an Oscar for her performance as Queen Anne. The 2014 film, Birdman, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, was an award-winning visual masterpiece with tracking shots filmed in New York's St. James Theatre by cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki. The film also served as a showbiz satire starring Michael Keaton as a fading star tormented by his past superhero role. The movie explores mental illness in a visceral and vital way with Emma Stone and Edward Norton as supporting actors. Michelle Hazanavicius' 2011 film, The Artist, swept up all the awards and charmed both audiences and critics with its love letter to silent cinema. The film replicates the tropes of silent melodrama and tells the timeless story of ailing movie star Valentine falling for up-and-comer Pepe as their careers take different paths with the advent of talkies. Starring Jean Dujardin and Berenice Bejo, it delivered one of the decade's top performances. Inside Llewyn Davis, a 2013 film by Joel and Ethan Coen, takes a melancholic look at the myth of Greenwich Village. This rare film about starving artists makes them seem genuinely hungry in a period piece with an uncanny sense of modern mood. The film feels both comedic and tragic and features a real-life musical with made-up songs. It stands out as one of the Coen's most deftly told fables. In the film, The Lobster, single people are punished by being turned into animals if they don't find a partner. Filled with dark humor, Colin Farrell and Rachel Weisz give deadpan performances. This dystopian romance, directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, is absurd but tender. Robert Pattinson stars in James Gray's period piece as explorer Henry Costin in The Lost City of Z, a thrillingly unpredictable adventure recounting Percy Fawcett's epic attempt to find El Dorado. The film boasts an affecting humanity and a Brit-heavy ensemble featuring Charlie Hunnam, Sienna Miller, and Tom Holland. Captain America: The Winter Soldier, a 2014 film directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, turns the patriotic hero into a political espionage thriller featuring corruption and Robert Redford. The infusion of modern drone warfare adds to the retro feel, and the chemistry between Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson keeps the conspiracies grounded in character. New movie, You Were Never Really Here, adapts Jonathan Ames' novella with haunting poetry by director Lynn Ramsey. Starring Joaquin Phoenix as tormented veteran Joe, who hunts for missing girls with a hammer. Raw, introspective, and unmissable. Joaquin Phoenix stars as a disturbed veteran who falls in with a cult led by Philip Seymour Hoffman in Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master, which explores emotional and psychological themes reminiscent of Scientology. Spider-Man: Into the Spider-Verse is a 2018 film that took risks and delivered a unique and creative film about the famous web-slinger. Produced by Lord and Miller, the film celebrates creative possibilities with its multiverse storyline and bold graphics, seamlessly blending action and comedy. In 2011, director Steve McQueen and actor Michael Fassbender teamed up for a film about sexual addiction called Shame. Fassbender's character, a damaged bachelor named Brandon, struggles with internal agony and is joined by his torch singer sister played by Carey Mulligan. The film is praised for its poetry and poignancy, getting right under Fassbender's skin. In 2010, Pixar released Toy Story 3, the sequel to the beloved Toy Story franchise. The film follows Woody, Buzz, and their friends as they escape from daycare to return to their owner, Andy, before he leaves for college. The movie was a hit with both audiences and critics, praised for its exciting prison break plot and poignant exploration of childhood's end. Chris Morris's Four Lions uses satirical black humor to tell the story of three British Pakistani jihadis from Sheffield. Despite being a comedy, the movie humanizes the realities of extremism, and Riz Ahmed leads a great cast that balances respect and empathy with downright hilariousness. In this film, Moonlight, we follow Chiron, a young man growing up in Miami neglected by his drug addict mother. Through the expertly cast actors, we watch as Chiron navigates his youth, adolescence, and adulthood, all while struggling with his homosexuality. Director Barry Jenkins sensitively handles the many layers of black masculinity to deliver a powerful drama full of hurt and hope. Room is a moving film about Ma and her son Jack, who are imprisoned in a small space by their captor, Old Nick. Ma fights to preserve her son's childhood and dreams of a life without walls. Brie Larson won an Oscar for her incredible performance in this heart-wrenching story based on true events. In 2012, Sam Mendes directed the 23rd official Bond film, Skyfall, which marked the 50th anniversary of the franchise. The installment features Daniel Craig facing his strongest adversary, played by Javier Bardem, and confronting themes of obsolescence and death. The film also sees the departure of the iconic character M. In Christopher Nolan's 2012 film, The Dark Knight Rises, Batman faces off against his toughest foe yet, Bane, in a trilogy-capping historical epic. The film's finality amplifies its dramatic weight, with Christian Bale bidding farewell to the cowl. It's an emotional ride as much as an action-packed one. In Looper, 2012, director Rian Johnson masterfully blends time travel, assassin subcultures, and superpowers, creating 3 films in one. The film features indelible imagery, from young assassins killing their future selves to a man falling apart while being tortured in the past. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's dodgy prosthetic nose and Bruce Willis's A-game add to the film's rare quality. It's easy to see why this gig got Johnson The Last Jedi. Naxxrama is a nihilistic thriller directed by Bertrand Bonello, following a group of hipster terrorists from successful Paris bombings to a luxury department store hideout. The film's disturbing portrayal of millennial malaise blends surreal satire and designer style, demanding attention despite being smuggled straight onto Netflix without a UK cinema release. A critically acclaimed film called Columbus, directed by Kaganata, features John Cho and Haley Lou Richardson as strangers bonding over life and architecture in an Indiana town. Their performances are described as revelatory, and the film is called a masterpiece of restraint. Olivier Assayas's epic drama, Carlos, follows the life of Venezuelan terrorist Carlos the Jackal, played brilliantly by Edgar Ramirez. Made for just $18 million, the 5.5-hour film is a masterful study of one man's impact on world history. With a globe-trotting, decade-spanning scope, it's easily the most ambitious French film of the decade. The Revenant, directed by Alejandro González Iñárritu, is a tough and grisly survival film set in the remote Canadian wilderness. The crew went through harsh conditions to create a film that stands out from the rest. The film earned Leonardo DiCaprio his long-awaited first Oscar, along with the director and cinematographer. A German-Austrian film, Toni Erdmann, took Cannes 2016 by storm with its hilarious and cringe-worthy portrayal of a father desperately trying to reconnect with his daughter. With a runtime of 3 hours, the film features a tour-de-force performance by Sandra Hüller. Despite its popularity at the festival, it was not recognized by the jury. In Kill List, 2 hitmen hired to kill a priest end up facing unimaginable horrors. Directed by Ben Wheatley, this film is a mix of naturalism and horror with enough violence to make viewers cringe. It's a must-see for fans of the genre and those looking for a thrilling ride. Director Todd Haynes brings us a ravishing romance that will take us back to the 50s with his movie adaptation of Patricia Highsmith's novel, The Price of Salt. In Carol, we will see the lives of 2 lovers, Therese and Carol, as their desires unfold and consume them. Watch as Rooney Mara and Cate Blanchett's acting will leave audiences breathless with contained yearning. Every glance tells a story in this natural and beautifully made film. Greta Gerwig's 2017 film Lady Bird was a hit, exploring the complex relationship between mothers and daughters, while also being a coming-of-age drama and indie comedy. Saoirse Ronan shone as the spiky titular character in this authentic and luminous portrayal of female adolescence. Jordan Peele's film, Get Out, is a sharp commentary on racial tensions in America, earning him recognition as an Oscar-winning writer, director. Peele's style has been compared to the likes of Alfred Hitchcock and John Carpenter, and he continues to make waves in the genre with his recent film, Us, and work on The Twilight Zone. In the 2019 film, Joker, directed by Todd Phillips, we follow the story of Arthur Fleck, a mentally ill wannabe comedian played by Joaquin Phoenix, as he is shattered by society, the system, his mother, and the media, ultimately leading to him becoming the infamous Joker. This film stands out from other DC movies with its gripping social commentary and powerful storytelling. Joker is a must-see for fans of thrilling drama and character study. In the film, Amour, director Michael Haneke brings us a love story unlike his previous works. The film follows the enduring love of an elderly Parisian couple, Anne and Georges, as they navigate the challenges of old age. Despite the lack of violence in Hanke's trademark style, Amour is a beautiful and masterful ode to the power of love. In Avengers: Infinity War, directors Anthony and Joe Russo balanced a sprawling cast of superheroes and subplots perfectly. Everyone received their time to shine in this long exploration of the ultimate power play, without going overboard. The movie was a spectacle with soul, as every character death was impactful, even for those with sequels already slated. Plus, who could forget the hilarious space caption? It's clear why this film is considered a gem. Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams star in the 2010 film Blue Valentine, directed by Derek Cianfrance. The movie portrays the breakdown of a marriage with heart-wrenching flashbacks of happier times. Cianfrance had the actors live together for a month to recreate the tension between their characters. This is a must-see for fans of dramatic film. In 2013's Blue is the Warmest Color, director Abdelatif Kechiche explores a romance as it progresses from the beginning to its devastating end. While some criticized the film's graphic sex scenes, it was the raw performances of actresses Adele Exarchopoulos and Léa Seydoux that truly stood out. The film captures the highs and lows of a relationship with unflinching honesty and stifling intimacy. Director Wes Anderson's 2014 film, The Grand Budapest Hotel, showcases all of his signature quirks and charms. With meticulous tracking shots and elegant performances, led by Ralph Fiennes, it tells the story of a caper set in the titular resort. Its self-awareness is perfectly executed and features a seductive ache of nostalgic melancholy for good times gone by. David Fincher's The Social Network explores the origin tale of Facebook and the irony of a semi-social man changing the way we communicate. With a dark score and provocative cultural resonance, Fincher exposes the flawed humanity within us all. The 2018 horror film Hereditary, directed by Ari Aster, was likened to classics such as The Exorcist, Cries and Whispers, and Don't Look Now. The movie explores the deep grief and horror felt by a family after 2 deaths. Toni Collette gave a career best performance, but was snubbed by the Oscars. Christopher Nolan's sci-fi film Interstellar, 2014, explores the idea of leaving a dying Earth for the vastness of space and time. Matthew McConaughey stars as Cooper, who must make a difficult decision between seeing his family again and saving humanity. The movie's stunning visuals and emotional depth make it a must-see. In the 2014 film, Ex Machina, a young coder discovers dark truths about a hipster creator's AI invention. Director Alex Garland delivers a tight exercise in speculative sci-fi, exploring themes of AI paranoia, Frankenstein, Dr. Moreau, and toxic masculinity. Alicia Vikander delivers a slippery and perfect performance in this tense and teasing conceptual chamber piece, establishing Garland as a modern master of literary genre head-scramblers. Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve, was a decade-awaited sequel that delivered a 164-minute neo-noir detective story, exploring themes of isolation, identity, and humanity. Despite underperforming at the box office, it's a film that's only getting better with age, and has been praised for its depth and rich storytelling. Jake Gyllenhaal stars in Nightcrawler as Louis Bloom, a sociopathic news cameraman who hunts for footage of LA crime during the night. Director Dan Gilroy describes the character as capitalism gone amok. This stylish and savage film serves as a cautionary tale for modern content-hungry audiences. In the 2011 film Bridesmaids, a sly and saucy script co-written by star Kristen Wiig offers more than just gross-out humor. The movie focuses on 2 women, played by Wiig and Rose Byrne, as they compete to be the best bridesmaid for Maya Rudolph's character. The film celebrates female friendship and features Melissa McCarthy in an Oscar-nominated supporting role. In 2011, director Nicholas Winding Refn presented his 8th film, Drive, a cinematic fantasy that celebrates cars, crime, and romance. With Ryan Gosling as the calm and cool driver, Carey Mulligan as the dreamy love interest, and sudden bursts of violence, the film is a lush tribute to the art of filmmaking. Between the captivating electro score and vivid cinematography, Drive offers a pure and immersive art pulp experience. Call Me By Your Name is a 2017 film directed by Luca Guadagnino. Based on the first part of Andre Aciman's bestseller, it stars Timothée Chalamet as Elio, a teenager who falls for his father's summer intern, Oliver, played by Armie Hammer, during a dreamy 1983 summer in Italy. The film is known for its captivating portrayal of young love and its beautiful cinematography. Despite a potentially ridiculous scene involving a peach, Call Me By Your Name became a cult favorite and an awards darling. Zero Dark 30-inch tells the story of the decade-long hunt for Osama bin Laden. CIA agent Maya leads the pursuit with guts and intelligence, but the film is no jingoistic, simplistic, feel-good thriller. It's a propulsive procedural thriller that is troubling, even sickening, to watch due to its detailed narration, full of dead ends, knuckleheads, and torture. From the director of The Hurt Locker, Catherine Bigelow, and journalist-turned-screenwriter Mark Boal, this 2012 film is a must-watch for thriller enthusiasts and history buffs alike. Frances Ha is a 2012 film directed by Noah Baumbach and featuring a great performance from co-writer Greta Gerwig. The film follows a group of late 20-somethings navigating the difficulties of adulthood, including shaky romances and temporary living situations. Gerwig's character is joyful, relatable, and a standout in this character-driven piece. Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity is a space film that won Oscars in 2013 starring Sandra Bullock. While it boasts impressive CGI effects, the raw emotional depth of the movie comes from Bullock's character, a grieving woman lost in space. Cuarón's film is an epic about adversity and rebirth, and it hits audiences hard with its combination of impressive visuals and powerful performances. In 2015, director J.J. Abrams brought Star Wars back to the big screen with The Force Awakens. The film brought nostalgia to audiences with familiar themes while introducing new characters, like Rey, Kylo Ren, and Finn. The return of Han Solo and Chewbacca was a fan favorite, and the new droid BB-8 stole our hearts. It was a chance for fans to relive their childhood and for a new generation to fall in love with the Star Wars universe. The Raid, directed by Gareth Evans in 2011, sets a new standard for action movies. A SWAT team is trapped in a drug dealer's high-rise, leading to a series of intense fight scenes that left audiences breathless. With masterful cinematography and excellent choreography, The Raid is a must-see for action fans. In Phantom Thread, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, the sad, secret life of America is left behind for a love story in 1950s London. Daniel Day-Lewis and Vicky Krieps shine in their roles, but Anderson steals the show with his gothic romance, combining elements from Hitchcock's Rebecca and Vertigo. In 2010, director Darren Aronofsky's Black Swan was released and was categorized as a psychological thriller. The film, starring Natalie Portman as a ballet dancer, follows her descent into madness as she strives for perfection. The movie received Oscar nominations for Best Film and Director, with Portman winning Best Actress for her performance. In the movie Son of Saul, a Hungarian Jew in Auschwitz struggles to give a dead teenager a proper Jewish burial. Director Laszlo Nemes creates an immersive, harrowing experience with tight framing and textured focus, conveying the pure present without past or future. There is no catharsis, only intense moral authority and control. In 2017, Christopher Nolan directed the WW2 epic, Dunkirk. The film examines the evacuation of the French beach from air, land, and sea, with 3 timelines. The practical effects and Hans Zimmer's score amplified the tension. The performances added emotional depth. 2016's Arrival, directed by Denis Villeneuve, is a compelling sci-fi flick telling the story of linguist Louise Banks' efforts to communicate with aliens using circular symbols. As she delves deeper into their language, her perception of time changes, leading to an emotional roller coaster for audiences. The intelligent plot and heart-tugging themes make for an unforgettable watch. Pixar's film, Inside Out, takes us on a journey into the mind of 11-year-old Riley, with her emotions of joy, fear, anger, disgust, and sadness battling for control. The movie also explores every corner of Riley's brain, from abstract thinking to dreams, making for a mind-bending experience for viewers of all ages. In The Tree of Life, director Terrence Malick takes on the ultimate challenge, telling the story of life itself. But amidst the grand vision of the universe, the film's real strength is in its portrayal of the complexities of family and grief. A deeply human story that stays with you. In 2015, George Miller directed Mad Max: Fury Road, a chase movie that relied more on action than dialogue. Tom Hardy succeeded Mel Gibson, but Charlize Theron stole the show as Imperator Furiosa with impressive stunts. Iconic visuals are abundant in what is considered the greatest action film of the decade. Boyhood is a film about Mason's life from 6 to 18 years old, shot in real time over 12 years. The film explores cyclical behavior and offers an authentic portrayal of adolescence. Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke are standouts as Mason's divorced parents. The film is a coming-of-age story like no other and offers character development on a massive scale. Whiplash, 2014, directed by Damien Chazelle, is a tense and thrilling movie about a drummer clashing with his merciless band leader. The performances are thrilling, but the ending leaves you questioning the cost of ambition. Starring Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons in his Oscar-winning role. La La Land, directed by Damien Chazelle in 2016, stars Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling in a touching and heart-wrenching musical about love and ambition. The film showcases amazing songs composed by Justin Hurwitz and lyrics by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. Chazelle masterfully modernizes the classic Golden Age musical and creates pure magic with the chemistry of these two talented actors. Inception, a 2010 film directed by Christopher Nolan, is a masterpiece that proves blockbuster films can be intelligent and thrilling. Starring Leonardo DiCaprio as an extractor, the film follows the intricate and multi-layered plot of planting an idea in his latest target's mind. With metaphysical concepts and stunning visuals, Inception is unafraid to dream big and captivate audiences.